was unusually low turnout at these elections in APNU strongholds. On the other hand, we got about just over 200,000 votes in the 2015 elections. We got about almost 120,000 votes in these local government elections. So a fairly respectable turnout, given that these are local government elections. So clearly, people are unhappy with the direction our country is going in. They're unhappy about the policies practiced by this government. And we in the People's Progressive Party, for a very long time, we have been pointing this out to the government, and I will talk a bit more about that the direction is wrong, the policies are bringing more hardships on people, we are losing jobs, etc. And as a result of this morning, the party leadership decided, and I've just submitted a no confidence motion to the Parliament and the government. No confidence motion in the government to the Parliament. So let me explain in greater details about the no confidence motion. You would recall APNU in the last government submitted a no confidence motion against the Ramatar-led administration. And they used several reasons to say they've lost confidence in the government and the government should not continue. The Amerindian development, they said first of all that the government was spending too much money, and therefore over the 3 years they had cut $90 billion from the budget. So they claimed that the Ramatar administration had illegally, that's what they said, restored the budgets for the Amerindian Development Fund, for hinterland airstrips, for the one laptop per family, for school vouchers. They said, imagine, they filed a no confidence motion against us because the government decided to restore the money that they had cut from the Amerindian Development Fund, hinterland airstrips, one laptop per family, and the children's school vouchers program, and for those who are going to the University of Guyana. They then claim that $4 billion given to Gaisuko was done in breach of procedures. Not that the money was stolen, but they had procedurally made an error and should not have given the $4 billion to Gaisuko. They claim that money were illegally held in the semi-autonomous agencies like GGMC, Forestry Commission, etc. And those should be paid over into the consolidated fund. Although those funds were created by acts of Parliament, and you do not have to transfer the money into the consolidated fund based on our FMAA, that's a law. Nevertheless, that was one of their reasons for filing a no confidence motion. They claimed there was corruption at the airport and corruption in the Marriott project. So let us look at what has happened in this government. So since this government took office, we have lost 30,000 jobs. we have the entire sugar industry is decimated. 7,000 workers lost their jobs there. Many more now do not have employment because they relied on sugar for their well-being. This government has increased taxes by $60 billion, although it came into office on a promise to reduce taxes. It broke its promise to the people of Guyana. It came into office on a promise of creating more jobs. We lost 30,000. Came into office on a promise of lowering taxes. They've increased taxes by $60 billion. Came into office on a promise of lowering cost of living. They have increased water rates. They put VAT on electricity, on water. They have refused to adjust the excise tax on fuel. I can go on. I can list a long set of items and policies that they have put in place that have affected cost of living and increased cost of living, although they came in on a promise of lowering cost of living. They came into office on a promise of clearing up corruption, arguing that the airport was corrupt, the Marriott was corrupt, and the Mile thought. We have seen this government in office unable to prove any of this, but on the other hand, from the audit report, $500 million missing from the Durban Park project. The Public Procurement Commission ruled that this government has illegally awarded a contract for $605 million for drug purchases. The Public Procurement Commission has released a report saying that Patterson and his ministry bypassed the tender process and illegally approved a contract for the Demerara Harbor Bridge worth $150 million to do a feasibility study. The same government that argued that money that should have been paid from the semi-autonomous agencies and transferred to the coffers because it was held illegally there, decided to secretly keep the $18 million that they received from ExxonMobil as a signing bonus. And the Minister of Finance, Jordan, saying was quoted in the newspapers as saying we never requested it, nor did we receive it. A year and a half later, we discovered it in an account abroad that they wrote the governor of the central bank not to put it in as part of the reserves. And they refused until today to pay it into the consolidated fund. Although that was one of the reasons for money held in GGMC and Forestry Commission not being transferred to the consolidated fund, although those were audited. One of the reasons for them to file a no confidence vote. So these are just a few things I can point out to you. This government has no vision. We're drifting. They have absolutely no plan for Guyana. It's a consumption-based philosophy that they're pursuing. They're using up our money on frivolous things, on celebrations and food and more rentals and a whole range of stuff. There are too many taxes. Cost of living has gone up. Bad negotiations. Witness all the contracts with international organizations. They're borrowing a lot. They've borrowed nearly $900 million. They're damaging our prospects for the future. If you compare what they claim when they filed a no confidence motion against the situation today, we're in a bad shape. And therefore, we have decided to file a no confidence motion against them. So that will that has been tabled in Parliament, and I suspect we are going to be addressing it shortly. Whether we win the no confidence motion or not, the country will benefit from it, because we believe we'll get a chance once again to point out what the electorate said to them when they rejected them at these polls, that their policies are all wrong and damaging our prospects for the future and the well-being of all of our people across Guyana. People, APNU supporters as well as PPP supporters. And so in the debates, that could happen, whether we win or lose the no confidence motion. And many of them who've been privately saying how they're dissatisfied, MPs that is, who are saying that they're dissatisfied with the government policies, they have a chance now to say whether that dissatisfaction would in a principled manner reflect in a vote in the Parliament. So there have been a lot of them who have said this to us over and over again. And so let's see how this plays out in the Parliament. But the worst thing that could happen is that we lose the no confidence vote by 32 to 33. But the signal, the good for the country that could come out of this is that it will force them to correct their ways. And what are we calling for in the budget? We would like to see a budget that restores the water subsidy for the pensioners, water and electricity subsidy for the pensioners. We'd like to see a budget that restores the $10,000 grant for the school kids. We want a restoration of the bonus for the discipline services. We want their commitment to the public servants kept. We want a removal of the value-added tax from water, electricity, medical supplies and services, food items. We want the land and water charges at the MMA that has been increased from $3,500 to $15,000 per acre per year, reduced, taken back to the old level. We'd like to see in this budget a reduction of the excise tax on fuel, so that you could have more affordable gasoline at the pump. We want a restoration of the 2% final tax for the miners. We want the government to reverse the increases for water rates. We want the reversal of the fees for the University of Guyana. There are lots of other things I can talk about. If we want them to move forward the process of constitutional reform, let us discuss it to see what is possible. We don't know what the outcome will be, because we made it clear in the PPP this must reflect the will of the people and have widespread consultations across Guyana. We'd like to see them, they promised that. We'd like to have the discussion started here. So this is where it is now. We're hoping that this no confidence motion can shake this government back to its senses and stop it from destroying our future through their borrowing, taxing, wasteful spending policies, which will harm us in the post-2020 period. So I thought I'd just only deal with those issues today. the no confidence motion that we have filed against the government and the results of the local government elections. Thank you. Any question?
The no confidence motion that we are offering questions has already been filed at the National Assembly.
Yes, it has been filed today.
And whose name?
Huh?
Whose name?
My name.
Sir, Hannah Lumpkin, HUP News. So, can you just, for those of us who are not familiar with the process of the filing of a no confidence motion, it has been filed. Is it going to give, is it going to get the speedy hearing, or do you have to wait?
Well, we filed it today. And so, let's see what happens tomorrow.
The reason I ask because I know that the opposition has its day in Parliament, so I'm wanting to know.
No, this is unrelated. No,
then.
no. No, it does not have to wait until the opposition. The normal practice is that it takes precedent over almost any other business except urgent business.
Sir, during this part that I heard, you
The
said,
place is quiet, unusually quiet today.
yes, you said that the worst that can happen is that you'll lose the vote 32 to 33. Are you saying that there's a possibility that the other side can, anybody, any party from the other side could vote with the PDP on this? Do you see that chance there?
Why don't I leave that question for another day?
Okay.
And that is for those who have not heard of the country. I was just asked whether there is a possibility of us winning the vote. And anything is possible in life and in Parliament.
You have talks with anyone on the other side?
No, but I said before that many people, I've sat with members of Parliament from their side, from both AFC and APNU, who've expressed serious discontent with the way things are going. So let us see if that will translate into votes. Who knows? Nagamutu might vote for it. I didn't want to say that. Couldn't resist it. I couldn't resist it.
Sir, you had said before that the presidential candidacy would be
Before and then
after local government.
after local, we will move speedily. We said before the end of the year, and we
You're
will.
sticking to that?
Yes, we're sticking to that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.